We begin here in France, where the Prime Minister today submitted his resignation to President Emmanuel Macron. François Bayrou stepping down after losing a confidence vote in Parliament yesterday evening. The President is now expected to name a replacement within the next few days, but whoever takes over is likely to face the same challenges, with the far right calling for new parliamentary elections, while the far left is calling for Macron's resignation. Let's cross now to Antonia Kerrigan, who's at the National Assembly. Antonia, what's the latest where you are?
Well, just 10 minutes ago, François Bayrou left the Élysée Palace after an hour and 20 minutes of an audience with the president in which he tendered his resignation. He left the building a caretaker prime minister whose remit is now limited to emergency decisions and ensuring the continuity of the state. That's pending the appointment of his replacement. Now, rumours are gaining momentum around one name in particular for the premiership. That's Sébastien Lecornu. He, in the current outgoing cabinet, is outgoing minister for the army, and he has been a minister in successive cabinets under Emmanuel Macron since 2017. This would be a case of Emmanuel Macron choosing yet another prime minister from his own political camp, and so it would in many ways raise as many questions as it would answer in terms of, well, how will he command a majority in Parliament where others have failed? What's for sure as well is that that name has been mooted before to then not be appointed for the premiership, so we should take rumours with caution. What we can say, though, is the outgoing Interior Minister spoke this morning, impressing what he considered the urgency and importance for a new prime minister to be chosen very, very soon as France prepares to weather a new protest movement.
And talking about that protest movement, Antonia, obviously the president is very much aware of what's been planned for tomorrow. So how is that going to factor into what happens in the days ahead?
Well, we're seeing a great deal of rhetoric from the outgoing cabinet about the importance, certainly the right of the outgoing cabinet, about the importance of policing and the importance of law and order, and that's being considered as a factor in the urgency, and it could be a factor in the leaning of who is appointed next. What I can say about the protest movement is that it seems to be fairly grassroots, fairly disparate in the organisation. A lot of the organisation has been happening online through channels such as Telegram. Plans include roadblocks, cutting off major thoroughfares into the capital, major strikes on railways, and plans to bring refineries to a standstill and potentially even prolong those actions in order to cause a nationwide petrol shortage. Now, only 100,000 participants are expected, according to the outgoing Interior Ministry, but 80,000 police have been laid on, so it's a fairly high police-to-participant ratio, and the police are under orders to break up any roadblocks on major arterial roads, which could lead to some quite high tensions between protesters and police. Once again, it remains to be seen whether President Macron will be weathering this storm with or without a prime minister and a government.